it's your friendly neighborhood soup lady, Caroline, right here. And I'm going to show you one of my favorite soups called Harira. I didn't make this one up, but this is my interpretation of this classic Moroccan soup that usually contains lamb, but this is my vegan version, and you usually use it to break the fast of Ramadan. It's very simple. I love it because it has like mixed pulses, or, kind of like a dal. We have some soaked chickpeas that I've soaked overnight, some green French lentils, also sometimes known as lentilles de Puy, but they're also just French lentils. I like them because they cook a little bit longer and they hold their shape. And we use some brown rice as well. And then, of course, it starts with pretty classic ingredients: an onion, some ginger, a little bit of turmeric, and a cinnamon stick. I know that sounds like a little odd, but I promise that's the clincher of this recipe. And then at the end, we make a little slurry of some chickpea flour, some tomato paste, and some leaves from a small bunch of cilantro that we've chopped. And in there we have a can of tomatoes. It just all comes together really simply. I can't wait to show it to you. All right, so let's get cooking. Our pan is nice and hot. Adding a fair amount of olive oil. We're just gonna cook that chopped onion and some ginger. I always wanna add garlic to this soup, but it's not traditional, so I don't include it. And so we're just gonna cook that until the onion is nice and soft. Of course, season with some salt. All right, so now we have a nice and tender onion with some ginger, and we're basically just gonna add the rest of the ingredients. So first, I start with a cinnamon stick, very important, and some ground turmeric. Just wake those up a little bit, and then I'll add my can of tomatoes, just diced. And then I add the sort of dried ingredients. This is kind of my favorite pantry soup, right? My French lentils, some brown rice, and some soaked chickpeas. Just kind of mix that all together. I'll show you what we're gonna do with the rest of the ingredients. So I just add some water and salt. So we just bring this to a boil, then we let it simmer until the rice and chickpeas are tender. And then while that happens, we finish up the rest of the ingredients. All right, so I checked, and the rice and the chickpeas, they're tender. It smells like cinnamon and warm spices. Oh my gosh, this is so good. Now we're at the end of that simmering process. We're gonna stir together our chickpea flour, some lemon juice, that chopped cilantro, just from that small bunch, about a quarter cup, a little bit, about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. It makes a big difference. It's just kind of like a nice thickener, and a little bit of water once I get this incorporated. So it's just a nice little slurry with water. And this really finishes off the dish. So you just stir it in, and that's it. Once it kind of comes back to a simmer, it's all cooked. Now I'll just taste it for seasoning. Oh man, so good. And that burst of like lemon and tomato at the end is delicious. I don't think this needs anything, so I'm gonna plate up a proper bowl. I wish I could share this with you. This is the best I can do, unfortunately. Teach it to you and hope you make it on your own. Even if you think you don't like cilantro, I would still go ahead with that last step. It just really blends in and makes a beautiful, interesting flavor. Oh, I love Harira. That's also why I like Soup Club. It's like sometimes I forget how much I love these soups, and then I plan on making them and I get to taste them all over again. I'm so glad you joined me this week. This is my Harira soup. It's on page 65 of my Soup Club cookbook. I hope you'll follow me here on YouTube, also on Instagram at Slurp Soup Club. Buy a copy of my books. This one's Soup Club, and you can find it out in the world. And if you do, shoot me an email. I'll send you a signed book plate. It's all good. And then also at booklarder.com, you can find the sequel to this book, Seconds. So I hope you follow along, and then I'll see you here next week. Bye.